Here's how I made a awesome horror short film all inside my little house. So the short film is called Endless Wardrobe. It was originally called 7 Minutes in Hell, which I think it was just too long, a little too silly for a horror short. So the idea was just do like a 7 minutes in heaven sort of thing where they spin the bottle and then two people go into a closet and then the closet is ginormous, a giant labyrinth maze of clothes racks going on endlessly, which I thought was a cool idea. But how do you achieve that in a tiny little house with a relatively small budget? And the answer is ingenuity. So here's how we built the set. So the set was built using C-stands and iron pipe from Lowe's. So we just got 10-foot iron pipes and we popped those onto black C-stands. Key that they were black because if we had the silver C-stands, they wouldn't have blended in to the black backdrop. Then we bought 300 hangers because I didn't want like plastic hangers and mixed with the hangers that I had. I still have a bunch of those today, and I have more hangers than I have clothes, truthfully. Then instead of buying clothes or going to Goodwill to fill out the clothes, we just literally used my clothes, my girlfriend's clothes, my roommate's clothes, and the production designers, and we just shoved them all and we put them all on racks, and we built up about 300 clothes to fill out the racks, and it looked like a really full thing. And then we put up black solids or flags, like 12 by 12s, and I believe we had an 8 by 8, and it's just basically, instead of like a green screen, it was just a black screen. It was just dark in the background, and that's kind of the key to making everything work because it just blends everything in. We have 3 rows of clothes, so we have 2 on either side and then 1 at the very end. And that was it, because that was all the space could really do. Like what we did was we took my living room, we just removed like the couches and everything. It was like maybe 13 feet either way in the living room. So we only really had that room. And then I made an animatic and blender that was prepped and planned, knowing that we will only have that 1 row of clothes to actually achieve everything. When she walks in through the end of a clothes and she looks past camera, she's looking at the same place she left, so it's the same, angle. We're moving around clothes to make it seem like it's not the same exact thing that you just saw earlier. If you look, you can actually see some clever editing tricks. We even did like a fake wipe transition to make it seem like there's a bunch of rows and clothes. Let's talk about So we use the Sony Fx3. For the opening stuff, we use the Helios 44-2M, which is an old Russian lens that I bought in high school on eBay for like $30 that I'm still using to this day. And then once we started going into the closet world, I switched to the Sigma 24-70 millimeter. With how many shots we were getting in the closet alone, it was just easier to use a zoom lens and one with autofocus as well. That also helped, especially with a small crew. So for the closet, lighting the closet was kind of fun. We set up 2 tube lights in the back to always be backlighting, ABB, and then we had a top-down light from that F22C on a C-boom that was shooting down to get a nice top down, and then we always had a key light that was Hollywooded with a tube light, a smaller tube light that our gaffer Steven was holding to get an underlight to make it feel really horror-y. Well, that's not how you should say it. Very horror-esque. None of the light is motivated in there because it's like there's like, where's the light coming from? It's a void, so it's like you can really do whatever. The monster was a mixture of a couple techniques because it's mostly practical. The hands and the feet were all practical, all done by Lily Barney, who was our creature makeup artist. I gave her, I want trypophobia, which is that fear of holes and like on the skin. It really creeps me out. So I was like, that would be a good horror thing to do, just to have a night, like you just immediately see it and you're like, ugh, that's gross. So she went with it and ran with it. She made like little prosthetics and it looked really good. And then we basically, hello, you have anything to say about your role in 7 Minutes in Hell or whatever it's called now?
It was the first time I did horror.
Motherly Lovecraft's the first one.
Oh, wait.
Do you like this angle of me? I also like swinging my feet like this.
No, here's what I have to say about 7 Minutes in Hell. The monster was actually very scary. And when Audrey actually touched me, I felt actually frightened because of how good Lily did on the makeup. That wasn't acting. That wasn't acting.
The monster was played by Audrey O'Brien because I was like thinking like who would be the best monster? How about this pleasant lady that I know, Audrey O'Brien? No, but I just knew she would be really into it and just, go for it. And she did a great job. And so it was just that mixture of that real life practical makeup and then the face. I asked my good pal Santino.
Hi, I am Santino Vitale. I'm a guy Colin knows with this VFX.
I tasked you with the big face shot. Give me the breakdown of how you made it and all that stuff.
I did the whole thing in Blender. Instead of like going online trying to find a 3D model that could work, I thought, well, we can customize something. So I like to start with a base mesh. Basically, you sculpt the thing with a multi-res modifier. Inflate, extrude, expand. I didn't go into like super detail on the thing because I knew it was going to be in the dark. We were only going to see it once, and you were only seeing it from the front. I'm very limited when it comes to creature design. I have like 2, maybe 3 tricks up my sleeve that I just kind of always use.
What are those 3 tricks? Give the audience what they want.
Sweet sauce number 1, skulls are scary. So always just have like really large cheekbones that then kind of go into teeth. Number 2 is like usually pale things with a lot of bump texture. Bump texture is a really easy thing to sculpt in Blender because you just use like the little inflate brush and you just click it a bunch of times kind of randomly. And It catches the light in a cool way. And it looks like you really know what you're doing when in fact you're just making a bunch of bumps. Trick number 3 is anytime you see arms, I always do mantis arms. That wasn't in this one, but like watch out for anything else. I think mantis arms are pretty cool, so. My
neighbor is staring at me through the window. Actually, it's in the star. Come in. What do you have to say about being one of the stars?
It was really fun. I liked being in the pretend closet. I liked crawling through the clothes. It was kind of like being born. The name tags were probably one of the most fun parts. What was your name? There's another star.
Oh, right. Yeah, this was our key extra.
Yeah, I moved out to LA a few years ago, and I've been taking acting classes for about 3 years, and I never felt like I can really truly be in my character. That is until I worked on 7 Minutes in Hell, when the director, Colin Black, came up to me and he said, just be Jargon. And I think that really solidified what a director-actor relationship should be, and I will be using that sort of technique going further. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Let's talk about the effects. Okay, so the effects of this project, surprisingly, if you've seen this channel, there was not that many effects. There was probably 8 VFX shots in the entire thing. The one shot that I want to talk about is how we actually achieved the endless row of clothes. So basically we just shot her on black, and then I went into After Effects, roto brushed her out using the latest Roto Brush 3, which is really good. I exported her as an image sequence that I brought into Blender. I put it as like a plane in the actual shot, and then I bought a bunch of clothes online, and then I made a giant endless row, and I just like duplicated all the clothes going down and down and down, lit it and made it look kind of like how the other stuff was lit. Then I did the piece de resistance of the shot, which is the Zolly. So what a Zolly is basically you're moving the camera in Z space, so you're moving it forward or backward, and then you're zooming in the opposite direction to make the shot have a similar composition. You probably have famously seen this in Vertigo. It's usually called the Vertigo effect. Also famously in the Jaws movie when the sheriff is like sees the person getting eaten by the shark and is like, wah. So it basically like makes it look like the image is squashing or stretching. And in this instance, I wanted it to stretch out to make it feel like it's going on infinitely. So I just animated the camera moving forward, and then I zoomed out, and that made for that really fun effect. That's how I achieved it, and it looks really cool. And this is the end. I hope y'all learned something. It was a really fun project. Just start off the year with a nice, fun, simple horror short was kind of like my goal. I learned a ton, and it was really just a fun romp. And make sure you go check out the video on my YouTube page. Or if you don't care about short films, which I understand, go check out my other making of videos. I made a commercial for Coors Light that was really fun, so go check out how I made that. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you all on the next one. All right, now time to get down.